Good morning, BitChute. Joseph Green here, up nice and early this morning. I think we've got a few weather fronts coming in. You know, let's cause major weather problems on the time that everybody's travelling. It's amazing it always happens. But anyway, I'm not going to go on about that kind of stuff. What I'm going to go on about today is how these politicians, stars, leaders, if anybody speaks out about, you know, what's actually happening in America, I think America is a downfall. I think America is finished. America is going to be the first country in the world that's going to, everybody's going to crash, fight. And you know, you watch that film, Escape from New York. Well, it's not New York you need to escape from, it's America you need to escape from. And I'm going to put that out there for the first time ever. America. I always remember watching films when I, you know, Back to the Future and all that sort of stuff when I was younger, and I always thought, you know, I'd love to go to America. Well, I finally went to America in 2017 in New York. Although it was a great experience, I just wouldn't stay there. It's just, you know, when you become a conspiracy person and read all about what's happening in the world, America is fucking, I mean, just to talk about humans being dumbed down and poisoned. Fluoride in your water system is an absolute fucking horrific thing to do to a human. I mean, it's fucking rat poison. It's rat poison to a human. The same as they spray the skies. They call it chemtrails or geoengineering. I call it pesticide spray. Like they do in the crops. Like they do in the water system. Like they do in the food. I mean, going to the local shops like Asda's, Tesco's, you know, that's what mainstream stuff, Marks and Spencer's and all that. What they do to a chicken to try and weigh it down a bit and make it heavier, it's horrific. You're probably better, as I say, the individual shops back in the day, you went to a butcher for your proper meat. You went to a veg place for your proper veg. You went to a fish shop for your proper fish. It's hard to stay away from a supermarket when everything in the supermarket is like, well, they're happy to sell fruit that's called a peel. It's got this certificate of sticker of appeal saying it's good for so many more days. Well, that means it's just like McDonald's foods that's sprayed with glyphosate, because when you drop a chip down the side of your seat, and this is proof, no, in fact, as I say, I'm quite experienced in jobs in life. I'm a laser technician and I'm a UHP operator, but I'm also, right from early days, a car cleaner, car valet as they call it. And I always remember hoovering out cars, and a McDonald's chip you'll always see down the side of the seat, and it never goes mouldy. Well, you've got to remember, people, that chips are made of potato, and any vegetable, you know, that's naked to the elements, i.e. oxygen, it will go mouldy. Well, not a McDonald's chip. Now, if you see a chip and it's been down there, say months, maybe even a year, and the places I clean cars, so it's obviously been down there a long time, it's never went mouldy. So what do you think it does to your body trying to break that down if it doesn't go mouldy? And that just shows you one instance of McDonald's. I'd hate to think what's going on with KFC or Burger King or anything like that, because you know what? In my early days, I used to eat that stuff. Stupidly enough, I did, but not now. I've never ate McDonald's for probably 10 years, 15 years, maybe about that. I still drink Starbucks, but you know what? I'm going off Starbucks because you hear the horror stories with Starbucks as well. The plan is for next year is to buy a coffee machine and do my own coffee. But anyway, I don't do much else, to be fair. I'm not a big drinker. I used to be, but not now. Anyway, I want to go on about Obama and Michael Lavon Robinson, or Robertson, or Robinson, it is Robinson, and how they could play, how the Americans, well, I know how they're so dumbed down is because of the fluoride in the water system. and no actually catch on to the fact is that Obama and Michael LaVaughn Robinson, it's just an act show. It's just to say they've got kids, and well, how can a man have kids? And Barry Soetoro adopts a new name to become a president. I mean, it's true what they say. Ronald Reagan was an actor and he became a president. And there's Zelensky of the Ukraine, who used to be a stand-up comedian but also played the piano with his prick or cock or dick or whatever you want to say it that way. And it puts it in this perspective that the fact is, believing what these people have got to say is like asking a drug dealer for looking after your kids or your bank account. This is how horrific it's getting on these leaders. And Westminster is going to fall, and it's going to fall badly. Through the Editor's Choice magazine Christmas special edition in 2012, where Westminster and politics and journalism is going down the shitter, which it should. Absolutely, it should go down the shitter. Because what's happening now in Westminster is, I mean, they're even thinking about bringing back, they brought back David Cameron, they're thinking about bringing back Boris Johnson. They've had about 14 attempts to see who can run our country, and it's just a freak show. I'm surprised they're not trying to clone Winston Churchill and bring him back. Mind you, I'm probably thinking that Boris Johnson is part of him anyway, and that's another part. Everybody on this earth that's all in power are all connected. If you thought that Lady Gaga or Beyonce or Jay-Z was like, you know, by luck made it rich and famous because of their success and their talent, think again, people. They're all related, they're all connected, they're all joined with the same spavor movement, and they're all connected to the same family. And it's the same with the presidents of the American country, and through Britain, and through the rest of the countries. They're all there for a reason. It's because they're all connected through family. Now, Barack Obama and Michael LaVaughn Robinson have two lovely kids, when clearly stated that two men cannot have kids, or ever going to have kids. But the American public, like, clap at them. Well done. What do you mean, well done? What I'm going to say is, it's an absolute freak show. Freak show. This earth is a freak show. And to top it off, on the icing on the cake, is we pay these fuckers off our wages to do this to us. And then in the UK, on UK owned lands, we have the people called the royals. Now, every one of these royals has been connected to paedophiles, or people that have been in paedophile problems. Now, if paedophiles are hanging about with these people that run or govern our country, what does it tell you that they people are? They're paedophiles, or the masters of the ring. 300,000 kids go missing every year, and yet they keep on talking about one, Madeleine McCann. Trying to make it as if they're interested in wondering what's happening to these kids. What happened to that young lad that had just been found in France, right? Just been found in France. And he'd been on the run with this. They made up this belief story that the woman and his grandfather was looking after him were Finnish, or they were going to Finland, but they were looking after him, but he decided, nah, I've had enough of them. Who's to say that he wasn't picked up for that sex ring that keeps on happening all around this earth? And he escaped. And yet he's not in the news, we've not seen any interview, we've not heard nothing about how it come about, how he even, you know, lost sight or track his grandfather or mother or whoever he was on holiday with, because the story just doesn't make sense. The same as the story about the girl that was found in a river in Leeds. You know, the older woman, well, we'd say older woman, she's probably the same age as me, sort of thing, found in a river in Leeds. But yet when you see the picture of her on the news, now, as I say, I'm a car man, and she's sitting next to a car window with a curtain. That means to say that she's quite well off, or either very important, because the only car I know that's got a curtain in the back is either Rolls Royce or a Maybach Mercedes. Now, if she was sitting in the back of a taxi, I can understand that, but they showed a picture of a car with a curtain. Now, in my mind, I'm always using my mind and looking around what's around, or even on a picture, or even on a caption. And she's sitting in a car with a curtain. Now, that car with a curtain is an expensive car. Now, she was popped off for a reason, and now what I'm going to get to is these film actors and stars. They call them stars, but do you know what a star term is? Is a fallen angel in the Bible term. A fallen angel is part of the evil cabal, and they're all submitted to selling their soul to the devil and go through a 33 Masonic lodge to get raped and told what to do. And if you talk back about what's happened here, we can just expose the truth here, but we'll give you a lot of wealth as long as you carry on the nonsense that we want these sheep to know about. You know, work hard, do what you got to do, pay your taxes. I was one of them. I was one of them about 15 years ago. I had quite successful businesses, but when I looked at the end of the year, I thought, you know what, I worked really hard just to pay the government all my money back, and you know what, it was probably easier just for me to go and get a good paying job. But anyway, I'll get back to these actors and stars. Where are they all nowadays? Or no, excuse my fact is, I know where they are. They're all getting popped off and killed and said they've got an issue with drugs or drink, which you all knew that Matthew Perry did. That was quite obvious from early days. But I think the reason all these people hit the drink hard and drugs hard is because the fact is they sell their soul to the devil, but they can't handle the fact is what they do to this world. And the fact is they rape us out of house, home and everything else of our bank accounts. And these stars that go in the films get paid loads and loads of money, and you see everybody else struggle. I think that's why they hide behind drink and drugs, and can't believe the fact is they get paid so much but we get skimmed alive. And go on about poverty in this world. One football team called Manchester City in the UK would clear poverty in the UK for fun, hands down. And yet they keep on all these adverts on TV, pledge £23 for this, pledge £10 for this, pledge £5 for this, when it's all us that see my pledge. And yet these film actors and pop stars and football players would be able to clear out poverty around this earth like that in a heartbeat, especially in South America. Some of these one players can clear out poverty out of one player's bank account, no problem. What I'm saying to people is try using a wee bit of brain. I mean, I'm not the most literate person when it comes to trying to explain my blogs, but I do it in kind of like basic terms. That Barack Obama is really called Barry Soetoro, and I think he was cloned or moulded into somebody that they want, or either he could be the Antichrist, the devil. And he goes out with a man called Michael LaVaughn Robinson, which is a transvestite, or they play the transvestite role, and they act as man and wife. And yet the American public, there should be outrage. There should be outrage on the streets and taking over Washington DC. Because if you guys allow that, then you allow anything. That's what I'm trying to say is, stand-up comedian in Ukraine. And yet I post pictures of the football teams still playing in the Ukraine, in the Ukrainian league, still in their stadiums in Ukraine. And now, this is what I'm getting at the finish here. I watched online, there's a company called FootMob that you can go on there and check who's playing football. And I went on to the Israeli Premier League, and the Israelis are still playing football in their stadiums. What does that tell you? It's either that they're the most thick, stupid people ever, which they're not, and that's clearly not, or there isn't actually a war and they're manufacturing shit on TV and they're making it as if there's things going on, when clearly they're fabricating stuff that's happened from the past on TV from years and years and years and years ago, and you know, fabricating a fake war and bombing and all that kind of stuff. because Israelis are still playing football. I mean, if there was a war on, I'd be saying, oh, sorry guys, I'm not going out there to play football, because the fact is there's chances, my stadium get the chance of getting bombed, and as a football player I'd go, are you fucking mental? Why would I go out there playing football when the stadiums could get bombed? I believe the cyber attack will come from Israel. I believe that the new power of this earth is Israel. I believe they're all called Akanaki Jews. So when I say that, I'm making up a term it's probably never heard, but Akanaki Jews are a mix between Egyptians and German Jews, in which I believe that they're the power of this earth, or they're part of the Egyptian. I mean, the Egyptians portrayed things with the head of a dog and head of a snake and all that sort of stuff. What does that tell you? Is the Egyptians really the cult of this earth? Are they the lizards, the green men, the aliens? Because looking at Barry Soetoro, i.e. Barack Obama, he looks like one of them. But on that Editor magazine, the Christmas edition of 2012, you see that all these leaders and all these politicians are all going down in the sump or the swamp or they call it hell. But guess who else is sitting there? No leader whatsoever, right? Simon Cowell. Why the fuck would Simon Cowell be on that Editor's magazine amongst every leader that's destroying this earth? Because I believe that Simon Cowell is Satan. There, I've done a one-off there. Simon Cowell, I believe, is Satan. And I'm going to put a picture in the caption, because why that man could be there off the cuff in front of all the leaders. I mean, you've got everybody: Putin, Assad, Napoleon, Obama, Merkel. I mean, why is he sitting there with all them? Now that there, my mind then goes, Simon Cowell, and it actually looks like Ronald Reagan, but it's no, because he's sitting next to his his platform where he sits, and he's got the 3 X's on the front. Simon Cowell. Because when I see him do his adverts now, he's doing these small gambling adverts, basically advertising gambling sites, and he just looks like, I think he looks like shit. He looks like a woman. He looks like a man dressed as a woman, or a woman dressed as a man. But he looks evil. He looks absolutely evil. Is he Satan? Is Barack Obama the Antichrist? Or is he still working for Satan? Or is Simon Cowell Satan? You've got to remember this, people. Satan runs this earth. He puts you false pretenses that you need to have this house, you need to have this car, you need to make lots of money, you need to be famous, rich. You don't need anything. You need health. You need to look after your health. You need to look after what you eat. You need to learn how this world works and how the cabal are trying to take us down. You need to look after your wife, your kids, your family. You need to prep. But most of all, you need to be clever and use that brain between your ears and think what's coming next and how to prepare for it next. Believe it or not, that's what I do, sit and watch films and movies and the news, and I sit there thinking, why could America be so dumbed down and not think about this kind of stuff? You're run by gay gender cross men, fake actors, and it has been happening from Ronald Reagan days. If you look on every one of these presidents' portfolio, it tells you most of them are actors. They're all actors. As I say, it's just one big freak show, it's one big movie, and they're all after us. Over and out.